So SpaceX today, folks found out that there was a application made by SpaceX, an environmental resource permit for something called Project Ignition.
Oh.
And what that is a 55-acre Starship post-production test facility at Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah.
So they're going to be doing static fires and tank tests and all the other things that they do to make sure that a ship is ready.
Yeah.
And that's what they'll be doing out there. So they are basically creating this incredibly large infrastructure at Kennedy Space Center. I mean, incredibly large compared to Starbase.
Yeah.
So Starbase has 2 towers, and out there they're going to end up with 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something that came out, and they are. The other thing that's happening. Okay. Yeah. The AI is like, hey, pay attention to me. Yeah, well, some interesting things have happened in AI. Like it says here that OpenAI came out with computer history, which allow the AI to remember all the conversations that you have with it, which is a big deal.
Oh yes, it is.
Because I'm running up on that in my own work, where that some of the projects that I have going on, I will talk about one aspect of the project in one conversation, and then I'll go to another and talk about another aspect, and the two have no idea what happened in the other. And so when you need to coordinate them, it has no means of sharing information between conversations. And so you end up having to spend a lot of time just simply copy and pasting information from one to the other. So that's going to be really good for folks as well.
You use up your tokens for that?
Well, yes. One of the things I found out was that Grok also has a token limit.
Oh.
I've been talking to Grok many times a day for many, many months, maybe a year now. And yesterday, I just had the bright idea to have it go through my emails and take all of the spam emails that I got and report them to Google. And so I installed a connector in Grok, gave it permission to use my email account, and it went in and it did it. And then about 2 minutes later, I tried to ask it something else, and it was like, you're above your weekly limit.
You get that, you know, you got a limit, huh?
It has a limit. Never knew that. And apparently, whenever you process data with it, it just chews through that limit like nothing. Yeah. It just runs through it. So that's another thing that I'm learning that you have to keep in mind with these AIs. They're very, very sensitive to the number of tokens you're using on long-running tasks. If a task runs for a long time, you're going to pay. Which is how they make their money, right? Yeah. So that's good. And Google is fighting back. So there's been a lot of upheaval at Google where their main resource searchers have moved on. Some of them have left the company. The number one guy from Google, DeepMind, who started the whole AI thing for Google, he is no longer a researcher. He's chairman of, he's a step up, But the thing is, when you step up away from the work, how do you influence it?
Yeah.
I don't know, but a lot of really prominent people at Google have left, and one of the original founders of Google has taken the reins, where he's going to be running their AI efforts himself. So
We will see what happens. Eh?
yeah, but they're trying to catch back up because everybody is using Claude for work tasks, for software development, and they're using ChatGPT, some of their models. They're using, some are using even Grok. But apparently not a lot of people are using Google's AI, Gemini, for work tasks. They have 1 billion users, but most of those billion users are just asking the kind of questions that they used to search for. And so they're trying to get back in the game.
Expansion.
Yeah. You see, what they found out is there's a whole lot of money in serving up AI tokens and answering your questions and creating software.
Yeah.
And Anthropic is making billions every month, tens of billions every month. And so SpaceX is projected to be making about 300 billion by the end of next year. So if you want to make money with AI, either you have to supply the compute, the actual AI chips, or you have to supply the model, the AI model that's going to answer the questions and write the code and create spreadsheets and all that. And so that's the big item right now. Google is trying to get back in the race because it seems they've dropped back. Like, most people are using Claude, but not as many are using Gemini. So yeah, it's pretty good. And another interesting thing that happened in the field of medicine, I mean, really, really interesting, is that over a short period of time from July 16th to August 6th, that's what, maybe a 3-week period, they approved 5 different treatments.
Wow, it's fine. That's fast.
That's pretty fast, right?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, they're used to going, 1 or 2 a year. Very, very slowly. And here, 5 at a time, that is incredibly quick.
Yeah.
So they had a flu vaccine that's made from gene editing drugs. So it changes your genetics to fight off the flu.
Yeah.
They came out with a cure for the root cause of narcolepsy, which is a sleeping disease. You fall asleep at random times. So this isn't like what they did before, where they'd have stimulants. They'd give people stimulants to keep them awake. They actually replace the molecules that they need in their brain so that they can stay awake.
Wow.
They give the brain what it needs to be awake
The problem.
at the root. And then they came out with a cholesterol pill that will lower your cholesterol about 60%, I think they said. And they also came out with a new Tylenol. It combined Tylenol with another drug called naproxen so that it would start fighting the pain faster. And it will last longer, up to 8 hours for one pill. So yeah, it's progress. They're moving faster. You can actually see it. And then in science, we had another really interesting thing happened. I don't know if you'd call it. Oh wow, this thing. Okay. So in science, a new aircraft company has appeared that's making electric aircraft. And they ran their first test. It's called Aerospace. And they ran their first demonstration of the world's largest battery electric demonstrator aircraft. And it completed its maiden flight over upstate New York. The flight was 27 minutes, and they reached an altitude of 1,100 feet. And they used just $5 worth of electricity. Now, I thought that is like amazing.
Yeah.
To cruise on just $5 worth of electricity.
Whoa.
That is going to change the airline industry. If they can get that to production and get really serious numbers, I think prices are going to have to go down. You know?
$5 fuel ain't gonna take you off the ground.
No. Oh, wow. But electricity, I guess it's I mean, this is a big aircraft. It's 25,000 pounds.
Wow.
And they're planning a 30-seat hybrid electric version of the plane. So I guess they're going to have the fuel as backup or something. But yeah, it was really impressive. Really impressive to see that. So another thing that happened is, you remember a few days ago, they announced the TeraFab, that they were going to they're going to start building the new Tesla TeraFab to make all of those billions of chips.
Yes.
And so everybody expected that they were going to be starting the building in maybe a few months. Well, one guy actually went out there with a drone and flew it over the location, and that is not the case. They have already cleared the land and started grading, so it's not going to be built. It's already started building. Yes, they do not mess around. They're going gangbusters. They're not waiting. And so I think we might see it faster than what we expect, you know? Another interesting thing that happened was a company came out with a new vacuum cleaner. Now, normally vacuum cleaners aren't that exciting.
No.
But it's a company called MATIC, and their vacuum cleaner has AI in it. So let's say you drop some water on the floor, you can just call it and tell it, go wipe up that water over there, and it would clean it up.
Yeah.
And you can point at something in the room and say, can you vacuum that corner over there? And it will go over there and it will vacuum it. So it understands you, and it understands the room it is in. And you can to program it, you can just tell it, go ahead and vacuum the room at night when we're sleeping and stay away from the bedrooms. And it will obey. It will just go ahead and it'll clean everything except the area where you're at. So they're expecting to sell a lot of those because they believe it's a genuine advance over the technology that we have now. So